morning, everybody. My name is Carla, and you've reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross-stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 226. It is Sunday, January 28th, 2024. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time finding me, I hope you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If this is not your first time finding me, I'm glad that you have chosen to come back and spend some time with me again, or maybe every week. It means so much to me that you guys are here and part of my channel. Yeah, and then if you really do enjoy what I'm putting out, I have a super thanks button below. You can just click on that to give me a monetary tip. Or you can go and through PayPal. My email is at the top, is also down below at the top of the description box. And those kinds of donations or tips or monetary gifts, however you want to think of it, just helps perpetuate the channel and helps me with costs of like Zoom membership and mailing and that kind of thing. You know, I mean, we all give the little pitch and, you know, nobody ever expects a tip, but it's always so great when we get it. You know, and I always really appreciate when that happens. So yeah, today I always give my little Southern California weather report, and we're having, I would say, weird weather. We're gonna have the next couple days, it's actually gonna get kind of hot here. It's gonna go up to the high 70s, and then it's gonna pop back down again into like low 60s. So I don't know what's going on. We had rainy weather last week, or last weekend, you know, and it was getting like pretty chilly for Southern California. And then all of a sudden for the next, you know, 3 or 4 days, we're gonna have like basically hot weather, and then it's gonna pop back down again. So basically everybody's gonna get sick, right? But yeah, I don't know what's going on with it, but the weather is kind of being weird right now. So as I said, today is Sunday, January 28th. So happy birthday, Logan. My oldest nephew is 16 today. That is very exciting. I was talking to him on the phone yesterday. My brother was in the process of making Logan's requested birthday pie. He saw something on, I think, a video game or some sort of, I don't know if it was a video game or some kind of show, but there was some, I don't want to say weird, but there was a different like butterscotch cinnamon pie or something that was talked about either in this game or on the show. And then he found a recipe for it, gave it to my brother. My brother was in the process of making like the pudding for the pie. And while he was stirring on the stove, first I said on stove, and then I said on the stove. While he was stirring on the stove, Stacy and he called me and we video chatted for, you know, a few minutes while he was cooking the pie. And Logan kind of came into frame. He's so big. He looks like such a man. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I'm like, hey, Logan, you want to see your birthday present since I can't get it to you on time? And he's like, sure. So I showed him. He's like, oh, that's cool. And then he walked away. I mean, what do I expect, you know? I'm not going to get like, oh. Oh, come on. Okay, I put my TV on pause. Okay, good. It never turns on itself. I don't know why it did just then. Sorry. Anyway, talking about Logan, I don't know why I would expect a 16-year-old boy to be like over the moon excited about anything that I show him. But he said it was cool. So, you know, I think that that's the majority of enthusiasm I'm going to get. So I did finish mostly his little treasure box that I made, except that I have to figure out a way. So I still have a cord attached because I have to figure out how I want to do the closure. If I want to do like a little magnet thing here, if I want to do some kind of like loop and button, I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. It is not in any means perfect. If I were going to start over, I would probably do some different things, but I think overall it turned out pretty nice, pretty cute, and I think he'll enjoy having it when I can get it to him, which is going to depend a lot on like when I have a car and can go to the post office, etc., etc. One thing I wanted to put out there, which, you know, this is only for people that have channels, because I'm just curious if you guys have had the same weird experience. Now, I film my videos on my iPhone. That's how I've always done it. So I just do a film on my iPhone and then I upload it directly from my phone to YouTube. That's what I do. That's how I've done it for the last, what, 4 years, almost 4 years, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2020. 4.5 years. So that's how I've always done it. And every so often, like, something weird will happen and things will change a little bit. And I don't know if it's because YouTube changed something or, you know, what the deal is. So the last 2 weekends, when I go to upload my video, so basically I film my video, it's there in my photos, right? On my iPhone photos section. And then I go to YouTube on my phone and I hit plus, which means upload a video. And then I click on the video that I want and then it starts the upload process. The last 2 weekends when I've done that and it goes to show the upload where you can type in your title and stuff, the video is showing upside down. It's not upside down. When you look on it on my phone, it's filmed right side up. There's no problem when you look on it when you play it in the photos. But when it goes to upload, the picture of the video is upside down. So 2 weeks ago, I got all freaked out and I went ahead and I put the the video into iMovie, which is what I have to do if I have more than one part to my video. I edit it in iMovie. Very inexplicably, but you know, basically if I need to put 2 pieces together, I have to do it in iMovie, and then I have to upload it from iMovie to my phone, and then upload it again from my phone to YouTube, which is a pain because sometimes my phone says that there's not enough space, even though there's tons of space. It doesn't like that, and you can't like delete stuff until it's uploaded. You know, it's. Anyway, so the first week, 2 weeks ago when that happened, that's what I did. I uploaded it to iMovie first, then downloaded it back from iMovie, back into my phone. I guess it was always in my phone, but whatever. From one program to the other program, and then I uploaded it into YouTube. Last week, same thing happened, and I was like, you know, having to do this whole iMovie thing just increases the time it takes to do this process. So I went ahead and I did like a little test video, right? I figured I'd put it on private and then I could delete it. So I did like a 30-second test video to see if I tried to upload that, would it look like it was upside down, which it did. But then when it finished uploading, it wasn't upside down. So I took a chance last week and went ahead and uploaded the video, even though it looked like it was upside down, and it uploaded normal. So I guess my question is anybody else experiencing this? Or do you know what that's about? Because it seems pretty weird and it just started happening 2 weeks ago. I have no idea what's going to happen with this one. But just know that if for some reason, like my video seems to not be showing up when it's supposed to, that might have something to do with it, because if it does upload upside down, I have to delete it and then figure out another way to do it. So far it seems like it's just like it visually looks like it's upside down at the beginning, but it's not loading upside down. I don't know. I'm very untechnical, as you can tell. But if any of you, anyone else out there has experienced this, you know, let me know, and let me know what you've done to solve it, or if I should just ignore it or what. Hi, Baggy. Yeah? Okay, you want to come up and see? Come here. Come here. Come say hi to the people. Come say hi to the people before you go take your little nappy. He was... Peggy is like the best cat when it comes to me doing my crafting. He doesn't bug my stuff. He doesn't try and eat thread or floss or fabric or anything like that. He's usually like the perfect crafting cat. Yesterday, however, for whatever reason, he was being very needy and he didn't want me to stitch. Every time I was stitching, he was like getting up on my lap, getting up on my chest, pushing the stitching away. He wanted 100% attention on him. He was having a needy moment, right? Yeah? I guess we all have our needy moments. I don't know, can you guys hear that purr? He's a very loud purr. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to discuss with you guys quickly, just so you know where my headspace is right now. This time of year, this coming week is kind of weird for me. And the whole like past couple weeks, I've been going along doing whatever, and all of a sudden I'll get like struck with sadness, with missing my mom. So tomorrow the 29th is the anniversary of my mom's passing, the 3rd anniversary. And I'm not like sitting around dwelling on it, but it's there, like in the back of my head. I just know it's there. On top of that, Friday next week is the anniversary of my father's passing. And on top of that, which I wasn't even really aware of until it popped up on Facebook, last Thursday was the anniversary of my beloved dog Frodo's passing, who I lost in 2019. And, you know, it's just all kind of like on me. Kind of just this sadness, I miss all of these people and animals, and it just makes me feel kind of bleh sometimes. Not 100% of the time. I'm not like, you know, under the covers depressed, but I just feel a little bit blue. And when that happens, basically I just, you know, keep going like the little engine that could, right? I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna feel better. This will pass. You know, it's okay to miss my mom. It's okay to miss my dad. It's okay to miss my dog. It's okay to miss all these things. That's normal, and just keep going. So, what that means practically for me is I don't have a lot of energy, or I just feel really kind of bleh and don't really want to do anything. And so little accomplishments are big accomplishments. You know, if I have a goal, like I need to get my dishes in my dishwasher and turned on, get that done, and I do it, it's an accomplishment for me. So, you know, I'm trying to just work through the next couple weeks and kind of get back to feeling a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more normal. I feel like I'm always like striving towards normal or normalcy, and I don't think that exists. So that's a catch-22 in and of itself. Anyway, so I've just kind of been in an odd sort of headspace the last like week, 2 weeks, whatever. I know I told you guys last week I was getting a cold, and I do think that physically I was a little bit under the weather, but I also think that it's a big part of just I'm emotionally under the weather, just a tiny little bit. Okay, so, and then so I have this is a memorial candle. So with some, and a lot of it depends on like if you're affiliated with a temple or not. Like they'll send you anniversary of a death is called the Yortzeit. So they'll send you the dates of the Yortzeit, and you can either use like the English date or the Hebrew date, because the calendars are different. If you've watched my my FlossNickah videos, we've talked about this, the difference between a lunar calendar and a Gregorian calendar. And so they'll give you what the dates are. So technically my mom's Yortzeit was last Thursday and Friday, Thursday night through Friday. And my dad's Yortzeit technically is next weekend, or in 2 weekends. Yeah, I think it's in 2 weekends. But in any case, I'm just gonna light one candle, and because I live in an apartment and I live alone, these are 24-hour candles. So you light them and they keep going. and I can't leave a candle burning in my apartment when I'm not here. So I'm gonna light this today as soon as I get off this. Actually, I don't think they're 24. I think they're like 18 or something. Anyway, I'm gonna light it so that it can burn today and kind of split the difference. So I'm gonna light it for both my mom and my dad at one time. Okay, so let's go into what I worked on today. So even though I've been in this weird headspace, I did actually work on a lot of things. I've stitched every day this week, so that's good. You know, kind of like by rote. I don't have any crochet or little golden book work this week. I just don't. Yesterday I did some fabric dyeing. I got a couple new dyes that I wanted to try out. I have one that actually arrived yesterday, and so I haven't even pulled that one out yet, but I got what I thought was like a light pink, and I thought it was a light green, but it's not. It's a bright green. Anyway, I just wanted to try them out. So it's a good thing I did, because they didn't turn out, not that they're not attractive, but they didn't turn out how I thought they would turn out. So anyway, so I got a Kelly green, and I just did this little piece of Aida, very little, but I think it's a pretty color. And then this was a total scrap, but I mean, definitely can be used, because it's like, this is an 18 or 20. I think it's 18. Aida. I mean, it's just a little scrap. And this actually was the Kelly green, but then a little bit of teal in there as well. Okay, then I got rose quartz, which in my head was going to be kind of a light pink, and it turned out to be much more bright, like a bright fruit punchy coral color. So it wasn't the light pastel shade that I thought it was going to be at all. I mean, it's pretty, but I did not get results what I thought I would. So this this started out as a yellow piece of Aida, and I had wadded it, excuse me, wadded it up a lot, and then a lot of it was still undyed. So I went, and then I put some tangerine. So basically, this is the rose quartz and then tangerine, and it turned out way more orange than I expected. But you can kind of see, like right here, that's more of the rose quartz color, which is not what I thought it was going to look like at all. I mean, again, all of these are pretty, but that's one of the things with dyeing, is sometimes you can't have expectations, because you're not going to get what you expect. This is a piece of Opal Lugana, and so I dyed it with nothing, you know, particular in mind, but I think it actually would work really well for a fancy lady. So this, I started with rose quartz, and then I did a second pass with teal. And so when it first came out, I was like, that's a weird combo, but then it's growing on me. So I kind of like it. And I know I've seen stuff that's kind of this combo from more professional dyers, but I think it turned out pretty. And then this last piece, I actually had intentions of dyeing this for my friend Julie, Stitching at the Cabin, and if she wants the piece, it's 100% for her, but it did not turn out anything like what I was intending it to, or what we had kind of talked about. She showed me a piece, a kit that she had gotten, that she's planning on doing. It's like a, I don't know what the chart is, but it is in the style, let's say, of a Dimensions Gold, where it's full coverage, but there's a lot of like half stitch areas, so the fabric comes through. And it came, of course, with a white Aida, and she doesn't necessarily like using white kit Aida either. And so she was like, what would you stitch this on? And I was looking, and I was like, a light pink or a light peach would look really nice, because it has kind of like this sunset sky in the back, and I thought that would be really pretty kind of to show through. And I said, of course, I would go opalescent. So anyway, I had a piece of opalescent linen. This is a Belfast linen, which I'm not sure now, for those of you that don't know, I mean, I'm not a linen stitcher, but I do know, like when they say Belfast linen or Edinburgh linen or that kind of thing, Belfast is the size. So at Belfast, I think is 28, Edinburgh is 32, I think. But when you see those words, those are actually, it's not like a class or a quality thing. It's actually the size of the linen, yeah. So anyway, this is a Belfast, and again, I was trying to do just the rose quartz, and it turned out a lot darker than I intended, and more of this sort of fruit punchy coral color as opposed to the late peach or late pink that I thought I was gonna get. So yeah, so this is a linen which I don't really use, although this is not that bad looking. It's not slubby or anything like that. This looks actually kind of pretty even and everything. But this will be given to Julie if she likes it. You know, if she doesn't like it, she doesn't have to take it. Obviously, it won't hurt my feelings because fabric is very personal, you know, as to what you like and what you can see stitching on it. It is sparkly. So anyway, so I have that for her if she wants it. If she doesn't, then it'll go in my stash, and maybe I will give it away to somebody else at some point. Okay. So that is fabric that I dyed. Okay, then on to my whips. As I said, I worked on stuff every day this week, so you know I have a bit to show you. So Rose and Sweet Cherry is the Riolis kit that I started, New Year, New Start. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I really enjoy Riolis. This one does not give me the Riolis vibes that I love. I mean, I like it, and of course I want to do it and finish it and stuff like that, but it's not giving me Riolis vibes. Like, because I did make the fabric smaller, strictly because I wanted it to fit in a more standard size frame. So I switched it to a 16 count Aida instead of the 14 count that it came with. And it's full coverage, and it's a lot of blended threads. And the picture led me to believe it was done on black. It's not, it's done on white, and then it's just super dark threads that are done very densely. So anyway, so I did a little bit more on this. I filled in a little bit, you know, more of the rose in the background. So I think this is gonna look gorgeous when it's, you know, I mean, it doesn't look like much yet, but and I enjoy it. It's just not the same kind of enjoyment that I typically get from Riolis, so that's why I'm starting another one. Okay, I worked on Mini Flower Kitty this week. So if you've been watching me, you know January is my full coverage month, and so I've been working on several full coverage projects a lot. I'm getting, a month is a really good amount of time for these themes, because I'm definitely getting to that point where I'm like, ugh, I'm tired of doing these. So this is my Mini Flower Kitty, artwork by Jeremiah Kentner, charted by Heaven Earth Designs. Don't get me wrong, I love all these projects still, but it's like I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, I want to stitch on something else. I don't want to do full coverage. So so I think it's good. It's good that I have these themes, and then, you know, work on something intently, or working on several projects intently for a month, and then switch it all out. And then I have time to miss them again. So I was working on this one, I think Friday, and it was going so slow. And I think it's because it was like super heavy confetti right in here. And I thought I would get the diagonal finished, but I just didn't. I was up here and I did like that much, and it took all evening. So yeah, it was just heavy in the confetti. I mean, you can tell just from like all the part threads how much confetti is in this particular project. I mean, I love it. I love how it looks, and actually I really enjoy working on it as well, but it just, I don't want to say it felt like a slog Friday night, because that wasn't it exactly. It just, I felt like I was working and working, and then I look back and it's like, oh, I did 3 rows, you know, it was like 30 stitches and it took me an hour. I mean, I don't know. It just, it seemed like it was taking forever this week. Okay. I worked on kitty litter, my Dimensions Gold collection, or one of my 2. The second one is Wind Moon Fairy, and she's going to come out in March. So Nora talked a lot about like going and working on like the background, going up or down. I actually ended up working on the paw with the intention of going down, but I just never got there. I just did the paw. So, but every time I work on this one though, it's just, it strikes me how just adorable these cats are. So it's fun. But this chart, you know, like any Dimensions Gold, it's no joke. It is pretty intense project. Okay, this is Pinky and Blue Boy. Charted by Artisy. Pinky is Sir Thomas Lawrence. Blue Boy is Thomas Gainsborough. And I'm stitching these at the same time on the same piece of fabric so that they will grow together. And then when they're done, they can be framed, you know, together. Not in the same frame, but, you know, together and hung together as they are in real life. So this week I just worked on Pinky. I finished her diagonal. So now they're even again. And when I pull it out, I can work on either one first. So this is Pinky, even though she's completely blue. This is Blue Boy, even though there's no blue in him yet. But I did hit his head. So I think the next diagonal we'll get a piece of her bonnet coming in. Okay, they are going to come out again in March as well for my Fancy Folk. This is Tuxedo Cat Eyes. Artwork by Carrie Hawkes, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching this like as a companion piece to Lavender Roses. And because it looks like my cat Herbie, who passed away in 2017, I want to say. So, got a little bit more of that diagonal. Well, actually, no, I started, I think I finished this diagonal and started, I don't remember. I don't remember if I did this whole diagonal or just, or I had a few rows up here, but as far as full coverages go, this goes maybe a little bit quicker because there are big blocks of black and white. Although you have to be careful because in those big blocks sometimes there'll be like one stray gray or something. You have to pay attention to that. Okay, and then last but not least was Cat Collage, Floral Birch Cat Collage, which is the Design Works kit. And I did move the fabric over, so you're not going to get to see really the whole thing that's done, but I moved it over and I started working on this one and that one. So, and then, oh, I'm showing you my pattern. Oops. When I moved it over, you can see why I started using Grime Guard, because I discovered like dirt on my fabric. So this is definitely going to have to get a wash when it's done. It's like surface dirt, but, and I don't think it's actually from holding it. I think it was from going in and out of the bag. I think it's from the zipper touching it. But regardless, there's a big streak of dirt. There's a big streak of dirt on the bottom. So yeah. This one is super fun when I'm in the mood for it. It's very, like, I do it kind of coloring book style. So like I do all the black outline and then go and fill in. And when I'm in the mood for that, it's just like super fun. Okay, so that was all of my stitching for this week. Haul, all I have to show you is I got my CrossStitch, just CrossStitch magazine. This is the spring 2024 version, or not episode, spring 2024, what's my word? Anyway, edition. Here's the page that shows you like pretty much what's in it. Actually, there's a lot of things in this one that I like. So these butterflies are really pretty. This actually is a really pretty full coveragey kind of thing. There's just a bunch of stuff in here. I mean, it shows the bunny and kind of like Easter stuff on the front, which I don't stitch, but there's still actually a lot of really cute things in here. And if you are a devotee of Laura Stitching at the Shore and are interested in her ATC things, there's, I shouldn't even show you guys because then, you know, you can take my ideas. But if she does a spring ATC swap, these birds would work really well. And there's actually some tiny charts. So yeah, so this is actually a really good one. Sometimes, you know, I get these magazines, there's nothing I'm interested in, but this one actually, there were several things that I really liked. So, oh, and then page 59. I really like this one too. I would totally change all the colors, but that's not that surprising because I do that anyway. But I really like that one. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be fun to pull a bunch of like highly variegated colors that you like my Needle Necessities Threadworks, and maybe pull those out for that. Okay, so plans for going forward. I mean, we're gonna hit February this week. Oh, you know what? I didn't even show you all of my my whips because I started yesterday. I was just in a mood, right? I just, like I said, I was getting sick of doing the full coverage. I wanted to do something else, and I have these two projects that I'm planning on starting for February, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go start them. So the first one is this purple Allium that I dyed the fabric this sort of orangey yellow. Now some people were concerned that the butterflies wouldn't show up, but the butterflies are all backstitched, and you know, they're surrounded by purple flowers. I don't think it's going to be an issue. So when I show you this fabric, you'll be like, there's nothing on it. And you'd be right, because there is nothing on it right now. I stitched on this for like a good 2 hours off and on, right? I got this flower, this kind of whitey flower, all done. But you may notice, looking at this sort of white flower, that that's kind of high and over, right? And I was doing a center start. So I found my center and it was white stitches, and I started stitching, and I went to town and I stitched this whole flower, and then looked at it and went, wait a minute, and realized that the white stitches that were center were these white stitches down here. And I had made them these white stitches. So basically I had to pull out the entire several hours worth of work. Yes. So I'm back having a blank canvas because I pulled out everything. I don't know if you can see, you know, Aida leaves bigger holes, you can kind of see right there. But it's like they only give you so much fabric, and it wouldn't have been enough if I kept going. So that was like kind of a big waste of time, because it took me, you know, however long to stitch that whole flower. Luckily most of the flower was half stitches, not full stitches, so you know, it went a little bit quicker. But it took me however long to stitch it, and then almost as long to pull it all out. So that was stitching on that. So I'm back to, you know, square one, literally. And then I also wanted to start my dandelions. Oh, I'm gonna have to take the cover little pages off of these so I don't have to pull out the whole thing every time. So these were free charts from LittleRoomIntheAttic by Maria Demina. The original artwork is by Lauren Dawson. And I'm stitching both of these patterns on one piece of fabric. So we've got this dandelion and then the dandelion family, but I'm putting them together. So, you know, closer. And the only thing I think I'm gonna have to change, as I said, is that their shadows are going different directions. So I'm gonna have to move this shadow so that it's pointing back, so the light source looks like it's the same. But I don't think that's gonna be that big of a deal. And I decided to go ahead and do this 2/2 on a 25 count piece of Sky Lugana by BestitchMe that I had in my stash. I think this is a gift. It's a gorgeous color. And this is my start. So this is like the dandelion fluff on the big lion's tail. It has a lot of like straight stitches that go over the stitching, but I'm probably going to do that after. So I know it's probably hard to see. You can't see that much yet, but that's what I got done on the dandelions. So my February theme is floral fantasy, so the dandelions do fit in with that, and the purple allium. And then I'll be pulling out a bunch of projects from my whips that have flowers on them, or are primarily floral or whatever. I'm hoping to get my first finish of 2024. Actually, I'm planning on finishing my frog bouquet this month, so that's going to be definitely a focus, especially at the beginning of the month, because I want to get it done. And then you know, and then we can work on the other stuff too. Yeah. So I'm actually, you know, pretty well along. I think from here down it's done, and then I have to finish the skirt on this side and the head, and then I will be able to fully finish. We'll see how long that takes me, but I will be able to fully finish both Frog Bouquet and Frog Dancer. Okay. So then February is when I do my Be My Own Valentine Sal. That's BEE, My Own Valentine Sal. And I'm going to be working on this little beehive house, Mill Hill Cutie. And then this little bee. And I think I have the perfect piece for this. I got some fabric from Fabric Flair. I think I got it through Dove Stitch, but it has a beehive pattern on the Aida. It's very, very light and lighter than I was actually hoping, but it still does have a beehive pattern, and that's what I'm planning on stitching this. I'm going to take this out and stitch, and maybe I'll stitch more than one. And then I got this piece from Kohl's again, on clearance. And I think that it would look really cute to have the bees just right there. This is like cut out. I think that would look really cute just to have 1 or 2 or 3, depending on how much I enjoy doing them, bees right there on that beehive fabric. So I think they'll fit. I mean, I don't know, I haven't measured anything yet, but if they do, I think that would look really cute. And then, yeah, I'll be doing this. Now, I tell the story every year, and I think, you know, for those of you that have heard it before, I'm sorry if it's, you know, a repeat, but really I think that's the way oral history is supposed to be. You're supposed to tell the story over and over again so people understand. So the reason that I do this Be My Own Valentine Self is because, for those of you that don't know, I'm divorced. I got married in 2012, and was very happy. My husband, all I can say is I think that he had some kind of male midlife crisis. Basically just didn't want to be married to me anymore. We weren't fighting, we weren't having any problems that I was aware of. If there were problems, he didn't express them to me in a way that I could do anything about. He just all of a sudden decided he was done. Honestly, I think that he was discontent with his whole life. He was discontent with his job. He was discontent with his family, you know, his like parents, which he was super close to, but almost it was like a smothering thing. He was discontent with his friends. And basically when he left me, he left his whole life. He ended up changing jobs not too long after that. And he didn't do it in a nice way. He left me for somebody, right? He was unhappy and treating me badly until he found somebody to move in with, which is basically what happened. So it was kind of a devastating experience for me. To this day, I'm not sure that people understand this unless you've gone through it or, you know, have similar feelings. People are like, why would you miss somebody who treated you badly or whatever? And it's not so much that I miss him or the man that he is now, who I haven't seen or talked to him in years. Like, he got married, he moved away. I haven't seen or talked to him in years. The day that we signed our divorce papers, he blocked me off of everything and stopped talking to me. But because I'm the villain of his story, right? He was unhappy, it was my fault. I don't miss or want him back. I miss my marriage. I miss the guy that I was married to, who I don't think exists anymore. So yeah, I still do mourn my marriage. I don't necessarily like being alone. And, you know, and I've come to the conclusion that I probably will be for, you know, if not forever, then for the foreseeable future, because I just don't have the energy or the patience to go through the whole meeting somebody process. And the world is different now, and I don't go and hang out any place where there's people, so how would I meet somebody, right? So in any case, I think sometimes when you go through this kind of a loss, sometimes it's not necessarily the bad things that cause pain, sometimes it's the good things. And I say that because when I first started stitching, which happened after my divorce, there were so many like bee charts, right? Things with bees on them, and bees are a very common theme within the cross stitch world. There's a lot of stuff to stitch that has bees on it, which is great. Love bees. But when I was married, my husband became an amateur beekeeper, and he and I sort of had 2 honey harvests, and so the whole bee thing was part of the good part of our marriage. And so when I started stitching and I saw all these bee charts, it was like, no, I want nothing to do with bees or anything bee related when I'm stitching. And that lasted for like a year or so. And then I saw this chart appear, which I don't know if you can see, but it's what was it called? I don't know, but it's a great chart. And I'm losing everything about it. I dyed fabric for it. I stitched that, and that was my first Be My Own Valentine chart, because it was like a breakthrough to be able to not be sad with the idea of bees and stitching bees and the queen bee, because he used to call me the queen bee, right? So it was like a breakthrough to be able to stitch the bees. And on top of that, in February, the reason I did it in February is because February can be really hard for people who are single. And those of you who are coupled and want to stitch all of the Valentine's Day stuff, that's great. And, you know, but I stitch nothing that says I love you or love or whatever, because I don't have anybody to give that to or to think about when I'm stitching it. And sometimes Valentine's Day can be kind of a bummer if you're not coupled up. Even the idea of Valentine's Day, I had a friend years and years ago, poor guy, he died tragically young. He used to call it, like if it was on a Tuesday, he'd say, oh, it's Black Tuesday coming up, or Black Thursday, because he didn't have a girlfriend and he was sad about it, and, you know, didn't feel like there were any prospects on the horizon. So Valentine's Day can be very difficult when you're single. And along with having the breakthrough on the bees, I kind of learned that, you know what, I need to be my own Valentine. I need to care about myself more than I care about anybody else. And I need to be the person who cares about me more than anybody else cares about me. And that's okay, and that's a good thing. So that's why I have this Be My Own Valentine sale every year. In celebration of the bees, which our planet needs and which are a great thing. And I want to be able to enjoy the bees without having negative connotations to them. And then also because I'm taking back Valentine's Day for myself, and for those of you who aren't coupled up, that it's okay, that, you know, love yourself, and that's good. And there's people out there that love me, of course. Of course I have Valentines. I have a fur baby Valentine. I have nieces and nephews who care about me. I have brothers and sisters-in-laws and friends who care about me, and you guys who care about me. So it's not like I'm without love in my life, but I don't have that romantic, you know, Valentine's love. And that's okay, you know, and I'm okay with it. And this stitch along is just a way to remind myself that I need to be okay with it, and I need to be my own Valentine. And if you are coupled up, you still need to be your own Valentine. Even if you're, you know, a woman with a husband or a boyfriend, or a boy with a boyfriend, or a boy with a girlfriend, whoever you are, whoever your partner is, yes, they love you, and that's great, and go buy some chocolates and give it to them, but you still need to be your own Valentine. So that's what this is about. That's what I'm reminding myself every year when I stitch on this, and that's why I'm doing it. And if you would like to stitch along with me, please do so. That makes me feel wonderful that you think that my ideas are good enough to adopt as your own. And you know, we use these hashtags now, and I'm terrible about posting to Instagram. I'm terrible. I'm terrible about posting to Instagram, but and hashtags don't show up anymore, you know, anymore. If you put in it's Karla with a K on Instagram, then I'll see it. If you don't tag me like that, then I may see it, I may not see it, unless I go search for it, I guess. But that's the reason I do it. There is a little method to my madness as far as the Be My Own Valentine sale. And I love it when people join in. Obviously, you know, if you're joining in and you're on a channel that I watch, then that's great. I see that you've joined in. If you are a non-FlossTube producer, content creator, then just let me know. Let me know in the comments what you're stitching and what bee charts you found that float your boat. And yeah, so I appreciate anybody who does kind of stitch along with me on those things. It's all just for fun, you know. But yeah, you need to be your own Valentine. I think that that's important, and it's a lesson that is hard to learn, but that I have to learn, and I have to keep telling myself all the time that, you know, I'm good enough as I am. And yeah. Okay, so I think that that's about it. Yeah, so February I will be starting these sometime next week probably. This one, you know, I have no idea how difficult this is going to be. This could be like a 1-hour project, or it could be a tearing my hair out thing. So I have no idea. But I think it would be cute on this little thing, which is flawed. I just noticed that. Oh well. I think that's a terrible flaw. There's a little like scratch. Anyway, okay, so that is the outlook for February. Next week might be a little bit of a hard week for me. I'm not, you know, going to force myself to have a hard week, but I think that there might be some residual sadness there. I still do super miss my mom. I mean, obviously that's not an unusual or a weird thing, but it's there. But I like to think that she and my dad are, you know, watching over me and cheering me along. So anyway, I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. First week of February, first couple of days of February. I hope that they bring you everything that you want. I hope your weather is pleasant, whether it's cold or warm or snowy or whatever you like. I hope that that's what you're getting. And until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.